Switch Station 32 here for another video. I just get done watching Square Enix E3 press conference, and what I think about it, I'm super pumped for it. I thought it was really good. I think it's the best press conference so far of E3. I'm glad Square Enix had a good one because there was some pretty crappy ones, really. Ubisoft's wasn't very good. The Square Enix press conference was awesome. I don't know if you guys watched it. If you're new to the channel, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game of all time, so to start right off with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I was super pumped. I was super into it. It looked so good. I ended up having to watch the press conference twice because I was so excited I didn't take no notes or anything for the video, so I ended up going back and watching it again. And yeah, it's Final Fantasy VII looks really good. It looks so sharp. The gameplay looks really smooth. I'm really excited for it. Now, the first disc they said is just Midgard, and that's they said that's a complete game and on its own, just telling that story. Have the action and the gameplay and stuff that they showed in this game. It's going to be really good. It looks awesome. They went into gameplay. They showed him fighting and tactical mode. You can slow them down and fight in slow motion, and you use different abilities and stuff like that, breakpoint and stuff like that while you're fighting it. They said you can also change character in between when you're fighting with just a click of one button, not go into a menu and have to go change it to a different character. You just hit one button and it changes character. They showed that demonstrated with Barrett. And then they came out and they showed a full fight sequence with the Scorpion from the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, and it looked amazing. The gameplay looked insane. I was so happy with it. As you can see, like, that looked amazing. Like, the way Barrett moves, the way Cloud moves, it just, I'm so pumped right now. I can't wait for this game. Then they showed it's coming out March 3rd, 2020. They showed the standard edition. If you pre-order it, you get a summons. Then they showed the special edition. It comes with an art book, soundtrack, looked really neat. It comes with a nice box. The steelbook looks amazing. The paint job on that steelbook looks really, really nice. And then they showed the Big Daddy, the collector's edition. And if it's not too much of Canada, I'm definitely going to get that. I'm going to unbox it on the channel for any of you guys that want to stay tuned and or subscribe and see that later on down the road. I'm definitely going to get that. I'm really excited for it. Final Fantasy VII is my favorite game. So yeah, their press conference, it started off strong. It started off with Final Fantasy. It ended strong with Marvel, Avengers, and yeah, in between, it wasn't nothing crazy, but it started strong and ended strong, and that's what you want. Life is Strange 2. Some people are interested in that game. It does look like it has a unique story, and I'm kind of interested in playing it. When I seen the first one, I wasn't really that interested, but the second one kind of caught my eye, so I might have to go back and play the first one if I'm going to play the second one. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, and it looked pretty good. But it's a mobile online game, and it's coming to PS4, Nintendo Switch, and of course mobile. And it looked good. It's a remastered version, and I never played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, so I am interested in getting it for the Switch. They did announce Octopath Traveler is coming to Steam, so anybody that don't have a Switch and wants to play Octopath Traveler and you have a PC, well, it's coming to Steam, and I highly recommend it. Anybody that don't have a Switch and they have a Steam account. And then they came out and said The Last Remnant Remastered is coming out on Switch, and it's launching today. So that was pretty cool. And then it was Dragon Quest Builders 2, and that game looked really unique. That game looked really good. It looks like it's going to be a lot bigger than the last one. It looks like it's going to have way more stuff to do. And they pretty much said that everything is bigger in this game. That's what the go home thing with it was. Everything's bigger in this game. So I know a lot of people are going to be excited. I don't really play the Minecraft, Dragon Quest Builders, Candy games, but this game did look pretty unique. My girlfriend's kind of interested in it, so I might end up picking that up for her to see if she will like it. She kind of looked interested in it, but she wasn't quite sure because she hasn't played a Minecraft or a Dragon Quest Builders game. She loves Harvest Moon and Stardew Valley, and they showed people harvesting in this game, so that caught her eye. So, we'll see. And then they showed Dragon Quest Definitive Edition on Nintendo Switch. And everybody thought it was just going to have an alternate ending, but this showed 16-bit gameplay in it. And if you could play this game in 16-bit, because they didn't really explain what it was, they just showed a couple of clips.
Do not lose heart. Do not look back. Remember, you're the luminary. We believe in you.
As you can see, it looked awesome. I don't know if you're going to be able to play it in 2 different modes. I already have this on PS4. I couldn't wait for it to come out on Switch. But if you can play that in 16-bit, I'm getting it on Switch again. And I'm playing it in 16-bit for sure. It looked awesome. And then they showed a little indie game, Circuit Supercars. It looked okay. It's just a top-down racer, but they sold it pretty hard. They had a nice trailer and stuff for it. I think the trailer that they had was a little over the top for the kind of game it was, but because the trailer before you seen the game made it look pretty good, and then it's a top-down racer, but we'll see. It could be pretty fun. Kingdom Hearts DLC, Real Mine, and it looked okay, but they didn't really show what it was about. They kind of showed it was a new character and some new keys or something you might be able to play, and they showed a little trailer, but they didn't show much gameplay. So you're gonna have to, for me, I'm gonna have to wait and see what it actually is, because they didn't really explain it very well. I didn't think. I was hoping for a better trailer than that for the Kingdom Hearts DLC. It didn't look. I don't know. It didn't make it look like it was going to be very big. It just looked like a little extra stuff, but you never know with Kingdom Hearts, the way the stories and stuff are explained, it could be massive. It just, they didn't really explain it that well for me, I didn't find. And then they showed Dying Light 2. I never played Dying Light 1, so I don't know what the game's about. To me, it just looks like you're running away from zombies and stuff, and you're not really fighting them. You're just trying to escape and stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be my type of game, but I'll have to wait and see some more gameplay of it. But if any of you guys played it and you know what it's all about, leave a comment. I'd like to know your opinions and what you guys think of it. If you guys are excited for Dying Light 2. And they went into Outriders. Outriders looked pretty good. It's a first-person shooter, brand new IP from studio People Can Fly. And it looked okay, but they didn't really show too much of it. It was made by the people that they make Bulletstorm and games like that, so it should sort of be inspired from their previous games like Bulletstorm and their other games they made. So the trailers and stuff made it look good, but they didn't really show too much gameplay and stuff, so that's another game we're going to have to wait and see, but it could be really good. We'll have to just wait and see, but the trailer made it look pretty good. And then, of course, Final Fantasy VIII is getting remastered. And it's coming to Nintendo Switch, PS4. It looked good. I love having the Final Fantasy collection because it's one of my favorite games, and I want it for my collection. So I'm glad that it's getting remastered. And then they ended it with the Avenger project. Now it starts off where they're celebrating the Avengers, and they're having an Avenger Day. And there's a little bit of spoiler in this, but it's going to happen just as soon as you play the game. So, and then something happens, and then the Avengers made a mistake, and then the bad guys come and they fight, and they're fighting on the San Francisco Bridge. It gets tore apart, and they ended up losing, and then they dismember. And then 5 years later, they need to get back. When a new bad guy starts taking over, they need to get back together and reform to stop this evil. And it looks pretty good. I'm gonna have to see more gameplay. It's all online game, so you can play up to 4 players online in your team, and it looks good. I'm gonna have to see more because I'm not 100% sold on pure online games myself. Some of them I like Destiny 2, stuff like that, and then there's some of them that I don't like, and I think that's with a lot of them. I'm not like Anthem and stuff, and Fallout 76 and stuff. A lot of them games let us down in the past. I don't think Square will. Square is a really good company. They put gameplay and stuff first for the most part. And they came right out and promised that nothing will be hid behind loot boxes in this game. Will be no loot boxes in this game. And that is a really good thing to hear from an online game. And they said all the DLC, all the extra content that will come out for it later, your seasons and stuff, if you buy the game, that's free. You just automatically get it when it comes out. And that's a good thing to hear from an online game, because you never hear that kind of stuff. You never hear when you buy a game, you have the game. You have to keep purchasing all this stuff. The original game you buy is just a key in so they can make more money from you later. And to hear them say there's new loot boxes and you don't have to pay for the extra content coming later, that's free. That is great, great news, and I hope the industry goes this way going forward. And the Avengers, they looked okay. The graphics looked okay. It wasn't as sharp as some of the games out there, but it is online, so you got to expect that. But it did look really good for an online game. And they showed the characters, the guys that are going to be playing them. And yeah, it looked really good. I'm excited for it. So anyways, that was my impression of the Square Enix press conference. The only one that was on par with it was Microsoft. And yeah, once I watched that, I've been so pumped since I seen that Final Fantasy VII trailer and the gameplay and everything for it. I can't wait for that game. So yeah, just to go and watch the Final Fantasy part of it is definitely worth the watch for me. But it was a really enjoyable experience. I think it was the best press conference so far. They didn't waste very much time. Just went into games, and that's all it was. And it was pretty fun. Anybody that's into RPGs, love Square Enix, I think they delivered this year. So I'd recommend going to watch it if you're interested in watching it, if you just don't want to see the clips and stuff of it. But it was pretty good. So that'd be Switch Station 32 here for another video. Getting ready to watch a Nintendo one here shortly. I'm going to try to get this video up today. And if you guys leave a like and a subscribe, it really helps the channel grow.